Okay, I'm gonna start watching episode 2 of the miniseries. It's pretty late, so I'm not sure whether I'm gonna finish it tonight, but we'll see. Okay, finally getting around to this. First I had to sit in line for hours in an incredibly boring college registration office. So, yeah, that was not fun. But, the second part of the Battlestar Galactica miniseries was quite amazing, actually. They're really getting into the flow of the story in an incredible way for just a second episode. It's actually really impressive. I really like what they did with sort of the dichotomy between the president and Captain Adamo, with him wanting to stay and fight, but with her saying, no, we have, you know, hardly any humans left, we need to just, you know, preserve our species and get out of here. And it was good that he finally listened to her, because, you know, his plan wouldn't have worked. Not that he had one. But, yeah, it's an interesting situation that they're all in now. I really can't imagine where they're going to go from here. But it'll be interesting to see the rest of the series. And, so yeah, my favorite character is still Gaius. I think he's really interestingly ambiguous. I mean, he seems like he's kind of gotten rid of the Cylon hallucination or projection or whatever it was, probably temporarily, but at least he sort of stood up to it and said, look, thing in my head, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, which was good. But he's still not telling everything he knows, which at the same time is kind of understandable, because there wouldn't really be any plausible way for him to know that stuff without implicating himself. So yeah, he's an interesting character. I don't know whether this problem continues in the series proper, but so far one of my main complaints is that they are using too much overproduced music with foreign vocals, which too often, especially in sci-fi and fantasy, tends to become shorthand for this is an emotional scene, instead of letting the story and the dialogue and the characters speak for themselves. So yes, it can become emotionally manipulative pretty fast, and I feel like they've already used too much of it in this miniseries, and I'll just be interested to see whether that continues throughout the rest of the series, or whether it's strictly miniseries soundtrack. Something about the show that's really interesting so far is just the fact that, I mean, in a theoretical sense, it's probably the most realistic depiction of space travel that I've seen, and it is just so scary to think about being in a little one-man spaceship and totally losing power and just being trapped in this vacuum in the middle of space with no way of communicating with anyone. I mean, that would be really scary, and I have never thought about that before. So yeah, now I'm creeped out. What's really interesting is that in a lot of ways this felt like a series finale. I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go from here. They're stranded in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of ships, and it's really just kind of an insane situation. And they're all just looking for something that doesn't exist because the captain needed a morale booster. I mean, that was kind of not the best thing he could have done, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. Okay, what's really funny is Starbuck's picture of her and Lee and his brother, because, you know, they're just hugging, and then Lee's just kind of like, okay, I'll just stand over here, and it's really awkward, but that's the one picture of them that she decided to keep and like look at all emotionally, and yeah, it's amusing. And then the thing at the end, they're all like, ah, Boomer's a Cylon, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a misdirect, but we'll see. I'm really very emotionally invested in the storyline, and it's pretty early on, so that's cool. So yeah, so far I'm really happy with just the way everything has been done, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more. So on to the series proper.